Hi everybody, my name is Maria Gonzalez and I am here today with Pride and Truth. I'm the founder and executive director of Pride and Truth, and we are here today in Guardia Park in El Sereno, California, celebrating our volunteers. Our volunteers work really hard to make things happen for Pride and Truth. We go out to events, we provide services to our youth, and we also do community events like turkey giveaways, Christmas toy drives, back to school giveaways, and this is where the volunteers come in. So I'm grateful for them. I am here today celebrating them. Pride and Truth is a nonprofit organization that started in 2020 during the COVID time. We started helping with people that were incarcerated because COVID had caused a lot of harm, and obviously a lot of people passed away due to COVID. So we were implementing policy to help and make sure that people were being covered, getting protection that they needed, such as masks, gloves, etc. Another most important thing was helping the families to make sure that they knew their loved ones were okay. Unfortunately, people have passed and the families were not being notified that their loved one had passed away due to COVID. So we did a lot of advocating in regards to that. Soon after that, the community was hurting because of job losses, etc. So we united with other organizations and we had our first toy drive, which was really impacting because there was so many people in the communities that did not have, and we gave away so many toys during COVID. We gave away turkeys. It was very, very impactful, so we decided to do that every year. So a little bit about myself. I grew up, well, first and foremost, I'm first generation immigrant. So I was born in Chapala, Jalisco, which is by Guadalajara, Mexico. I grew up probably my first 3-4 years of my life over there. My dad migrated us to the US and we resided in Los Angeles. Soon after that, my parents moved us up to the Central Coast to a town named Guadalupe. It's a small town in the Central Coast that is focused on the farm communities. So there's a lot of fields around it. There's a lot of undocumented and immigrant people, and that's where I grew up. I grew up in Guadalupe, California. I love that city. They taught me everything that I have installed in me as far as values, morals, support, giving back to the community, love, right? So soon after that, I moved back to LA. And when I moved back to LA, I was already formally incarcerated. So I had gone through the process of the carceral system. So I always had that void in me of how can we help communities? What does it look like to look at the system in a different angle, with a different lens? I didn't really do much then until the age of maybe like in my 30s, and it was probably around 2015, 2016 when I really started doing the work. I started helping people inside with different things. I feel like the impact of having loved ones incarcerated, having friends incarcerated, having myself being incarcerated really drove me to be able to understand how the system works. So obviously the system was a system that was created to make money and profit off of it. So this is why we have so many prisons in California. And thanks to all the organizations and advocates doing policy, some of these prisons are shutting down now. The amount of people incarcerated has lowered, but there's still a lot of work to do. So a little bit about what drove me to want to do this work. Obviously, being formally incarcerated, my family, my kid, one of my sons became incarcerated. Through all these processes, I just feel like a lot of us in the communities did not know what to do. So I educated myself on how we can advocate for people, on how we can help these people that are incarcerated, that some of them are innocent. A lot of them are innocent. There's a lot of people in there that should not be in there. The extreme sentencing system really has created a hole, I want to say like a hole in the community, because a lot of people in there are still stuck in there for something that honestly they didn't do. Some of the policy work that I've worked on has helped people come home. So what does it look like to help somebody to come home? Well, it takes policy, it takes advocates, it takes organizations, it takes the community, it takes people power, it takes family members, but most of all, it takes that person. So that person inside also has to do his work or her work. So with a combination of all that, we make it happen. I can honestly say I have a really good friend of mine that was sentenced, I believe, 86 years to life when he was only 19 years old. And today he's out, he's free. He came home under a policy called SB 261. It's the Youth Offender Act. And because of all the great work he's done with himself inside, because of all the wonderful programs that he was able to take and just rehabilitating from the inside, he is now home. He is here today. He was released in July, and he's going to be joining us today to celebrate.
My name is Jose Francisco Rodriguez. I go by Frankie. I'm from a little city in Santa Barbara, Guadalupe. So I just got out of prison after doing 25 years to life. I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my life and some of the journey that I've taken. In 2015, man, I was at a point in my life where there was no hope. I didn't feel that I had a life, and I was just like a walking zombie, just moving around and doing things, but without a purpose, without hope. And then one day, when I was sitting on C status with nothing in my cell, with far from my family, far from any thoughts of ever getting out, I received a little paper in the mail that said I qualified for SB 261. At that moment in my life, it changed everything. There was a little spark of hope. There was a little spark of, shit, I could possibly one day be going home. But I was so caught up in everything that I was doing that, that I didn't really believe in it. I'm so grateful that I had a little bit of courage, that I mustered up that little bit of courage to follow through and try to change my life. And that was the beginning of me finding redemption, finding a little path to take to make it here where I am today, in this beautiful park in El Sereno. Recently, I reunited with Maria. We started talking about our lives and the different places that we've been and how we got to this point where we reunited again. I've known her since I was a little kid, and unfortunately at that time of my life, I was not a good person. I was caught up in some, a different lifestyle, different beliefs. Talking about our lives now and the miracle of life and the miracle of that God and man, the miracle of His blessings. We started talking about SB 261, and man, I was just, and I seen the look in her face, I seen the look in her that she was giving me, because inadvertently she was doing things to help me out without even really knowing it, And I think back about like how many people she's been helping out without really even seeing the face behind of who she's helping out. And for me, people like that, are they're gems, and they're people that actually have that gift of being able to give people something that's not easily given or shared, which is hope. So having hope in my life and being where I am now is, man, I feel like I'm reborn. I tell her I'm 19 all over again. That was the day I got incarcerated. So I just want to say thank you to her. Thank you to all the people like her that are helping me out today and that are giving a little bit of themselves to not a little bit of themselves, but a lot of themselves, because I know it takes a lot of determination, a lot of their life that they put on hold to help us. And I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
The main focus for Pride and Truth right now, this year of 2023, that we had focused on was helping the youth. How are we gonna keep the youth from being incarcerated, from getting in trouble, from gun violence, from gang violence? We really wanted to create a program that is gonna help them redirect themselves into a positive leadership. So this is how the Bros Project was created. Thanks to the GO campaign, we were able to create the Bros Project curriculum. It's an intervention program that helps our youth today. I'm very excited. We've had about 25 graduates this year. We're working on doing another graduation soon. And thanks to all the wonderful work that we're doing, to the students, the youth that have taken this program, we are now being asked to go to other cities. So we're expanding the Pride and Truth, the Bros Project, over to Bakersfield, over to Guadalupe. So we get to take the program back home. And we're also gonna start in El Sereno. So today we're here in El Sereno celebrating, and also we're gonna be meeting about how are we gonna get together to start a pilot program here. So I could not do this work without my village. I have a wonderful village that helps me make this work happen. We have a community organizing leader, we have volunteers, and we have community organizers. So our organizing leader is Adora Pacheco, and Dora focuses on organizing all the events, putting together plans for how to make a toy drive happen. So what do we need? We need toys, we need organizations to come and help, we need donations, we need a fundraise. So she helps with all of that. She keeps our volunteers in communication together in unity, and when the time comes, we make it happen.
Hi, my name is Dora Pacheco, and I'm the community organizing leader from Pride and Truth. I first met Maria back in probably like 10-15 years ago, back in the days when she used to do a lot of community outreach, and I started helping her and getting involved in the events and helping her, and that's how I started getting involved with Pride and Truth. Pride and Truth is about 3 years old, so I started just, helping her out, volunteering, and then, helping with the events, and that's how I became a community organizing leader for Pride and Truth. We have turkey drives. We also do holiday events, toy drives. We do a lot of everything. We also help people that are incarcerated to, we help out with resources as they come out. So we're trying to do a lot more for the community. Just help out and, and give. We have passed pretty much a lot of policies, a lot of bills. One would be the one with phone calls. We went to the Capitol, and we actually talked to legislators. We do help with a lot of policy bills that will help people that are incarcerated. The next event that we're going to have is the turkey drive and the toy drive. Those are the next events that are coming up. You can help by going onto our Instagram, Pride and Truth Instagram page. Just want to say thank you to everybody that has been helping out, and that we hope that more come together to the community. Anything helps. Volunteer. If you guys want to donate, we'll be happy to get that from you guys. Anything helps.
The goals for Pride and Truth set right now is the expansion of the Bros Project. We're getting ready to do a toy drive, our annual toy drive. We're getting ready to do our annual turkey drive. And one big goal that I have set in mind for Pride and Truth is expanding what's called the alternatives to incarceration. So alternatives to incarceration is a process of keeping the people out of jails, prisons, and juvenile halls. So we provide diversion and intervention and mitigation packets. So there's another organization that we're working with right now as we grow, and soon enough we're going to be expanding that to other cities, bringing those services so that people can actually get a chance to actually thrive and change their lives instead of going to prison or going to jail for something that can be healed under diversion. So Pride and Truth has been doing policy since 2020. We have helped with the free phone calls. So SB 1008 is a policy that passed with Senator Becker. So shout out to Senator Becker for helping us pass this bill. So that's a coalition, a family coalition that was created. So one of the important things about policy is that you cannot pass a bill without a village. Like, you cannot do this work alone. This work belongs to the community, it belongs to the people, and the organizations that get together with Senator Becker to make this happen it's kind of like the infrastructure that gets together, puts the language together, the benefits of why we should pass this law, and then we bring it out to the communities, and then the community helps us pass this law. So for example, SB 1008 was a law that we wanted to pass to give free phone calls for people that are incarcerated, because the communication needs to be there between families, kids, their children. It's so important to have that connection with family. It's part of rehabilitation. It's part of healing. It's part of being able to understand that you have a support system. You have people that are waiting for you to come home. And that is such a big process because it helps the person that's incarcerated. It helps them understand and give them hope. We also passed another one that's called SB 1139, the Health Humane Rights Act. This bill was sponsored from the Prison Inside Out organization. She created a coalition, and this is how we co-sponsor the bill. Basically, this bill gave human rights as of people that are incarcerated. When they become sick, a lot of families were not being notified. A loved one could have been in the hospital in a coma, and families could not go visit because they were not approved by CDCR to go visit. So what ended up happening with this bill is we made sure that there's a 24-hour line where people can call 24 hours to make sure that their loved one's okay. We created a part where you do not have to be approved by CDCR to go see your loved one in the hospital if your loved one is terminally ill. And also, I believe it was $100 that CDCR charges to get your medical records. So we removed that fee. It gives a little bit of more security to families so that they know their loved ones are okay. So yeah, that was also passed. Pride and Truth graduated from the Alternatives to Incarceration Incubation Program through LA County, LISC. And now we provide the Alternatives to Incarceration in LA County because of that. This incubation program really helped us connect with the LA County and also a lot of other organizations that are out there doing the work, grassroots organizations that need support. So this is some of the things that Pride and Truth has worked on, and we're still working on policy. So we're getting ready to do some policy advocacy next year in 2024.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jose Echeverria. I'm a community organizer with Pride and Truth. I also work for Homeboy Industries as a work readiness trainer. And how I got involved with Pride and Truth was through a very good friend of mine, Maria Gonzalez. She's the founder of Pride and Truth. And while my thing is I want to be a mentor to the youth and be able to guide them, and not just in my community, but through other communities as well. Coming from that background, coming from a history of trauma, child abuse and everything, I know very well what it is that I needed when I was a kid, and I want to be able to provide that kind of support and consistency to these kids that are out there struggling with depression, drug addiction, the gang lifestyle, whatever it may be, that we can offer them services for, and to walk with them in their journey and empower them. And more importantly, to see if we could change their perspective. I mean, have them understand that, I mean, we can't do this by ourselves. We have to do it as a community.
Yeah, you want to get involved, you want to support Pride and Truth, you can go to all social medias. We have a Pride and Truth page. You can go to our website, prideandtruth.org. You can connect with one of my organizers. You can connect with me. You can volunteer. We can help you if you have a loved one incarcerated. If you have a youth at risk, please come our way. There's a lot of work that's being done, and the more community we get together, the more and more things that can get better in our communities.
Cutting incarcerated people off from their loved ones hurts the individual, the family, and a chance at successful reintegration. Testifying today, we have Maria Casillas, from the founder and executive leader of Pride and Truth, and then on the phone, Bianca Tylek, the executive director of Worth Prizes.
Great. Your two witnesses will have 2 minutes apiece. So, Ms. Casillas here.
Good morning, Public Safety Committee. My name is Maria Casillas. I am the founder and executive leader of Pride and Truth. First and foremost, I would like to thank you, Mr. Chair and members, for allowing me to join you today and for giving me space to step in on behalf of families impacted by mass incarceration across California. Today, I would like to speak on the importance of passing SB 1008, which will make all telecommunications in all jails and prisons free, including phone calls, video calls, and electronic messaging. This will bring positive changes to the families that are impacted by mass incarceration. As a formerly incarcerated single mother, a person who is currently experiencing the impact of having a loved one incarcerated, having free phone calls with my son would help our family tremendously. If SB 1008 passes, I would be able to stay connected with my son. The connection with my son it's not just about checking in to know that he is safe, to know that he's alive, or to say hi. It's about supporting his physical and mental health during his incarceration. Incarcerated people need to know that they are not alone and that they are supported and loved. Phone calls and visits are hope for this community, and it's hope to stay alive. My own family trauma began healing through a 10-minute phone call, which were very difficult to afford. Incarcerated people are crammed in a dorm like sardines, 80 to 100 bodies in a dorm, with 3 to 4 phones if available. Having access to affordable communication is how incarcerated people keep structure and routine, which helps prevent hostility during incarceration. The last 8 months, I have been paying fees to talk to my son during his incarceration. People ask me, why am I so supportive of him? My answer is because I know what it's like to be incarcerated and how important it is for him to know that he's not a failure. 17 years ago, I was incarcerated and turned a new leaf because of my family support during the most difficult time of my life. Now, because of all the love and support of my family and loved ones and friends that were there for me, I am a former healthcare worker that was able to retire in 2019 from nursing and began helping others whose shoes I've been in. And I know that if SB 1008 passes, more incarcerated people will be able to experience the healing power of staying in connection with their loved ones. Thank you for your time, and in solidarity with families across California, we ask for your aye vote.